Hi. Hi. Kind of taking it easy. I'm just going to do some education modules for work today on the computer, but I wanted to get my reading in. So here we go. Michael Savage, God, Faith, and Reason. And we're starting with story because he has it divided into parts and stories. And so we're starting with story 30. Part 4, God and Country. As promised yesterday. And I'm taking it easy because we've had so much snow and ice, and I've been chopping ice with the scraper, And this wrist is just sore. All that vibration, boom, boom, boom. And I've got 3/4 of my driveway clear of all ice. Plus we had 4 or 5 inches of snow yesterday, and more's coming. And we are breaking records in Wisconsin. Okay, here he starts his section 4 with part 4. Why would God care about politics? How does America fit into God's plan? How did God help build or raise up America? How has turning away from God led to national decline? I agree. And I think it was by design by those who are atheists, or, I read a book and they just call them the culture of death. They literally call these people the culture of death. They don't believe in God, or they're agnostic. They don't know and they don't care. They believe in man themselves. To me, that's like trying to raise yourself up to be a god, which I really think that's a sin. And I read that book, Architects of the Culture of Death. And this started so long ago, like all the way back with Darwin. Halloween is bigger than Christmas. Should never be. This book is being published between Halloween and Christmas for a specific reason. Boy, we're late. Halloween is now almost bigger than Christmas in the United States of America. That is a further example of the decline of Western civilization, which was built upon Christianity, not paganism. Hallelujah. Amen. My desire in publishing this book now is to somewhat counter the overwhelming influence of the atheists and the agnostics upon our culture. What was I just talking about? Across the landscape of America at Halloween, whether it be on suburban lawns or in places, we see little skeletons and cobwebs on lawns, on doors, and even in the workplace. Has anyone noticed that the cross and anything else related to Jesus has been driven out of the workplace? You can't do that. You can't have anything religious on your desk at work, but you can have something pagan. Oh, yeah. You can hang a skeleton from your workplace cubicle. That tells you the anti-God forces are now dictating the terms of our belief system. Ow-wee, scary. To believe in nothing but paganism. This section of the book is my attempt to make people aware of the cultural battle being fought and how it affects the souls of people in our nation and around the world. So it's a cultural battle becoming a spiritual battle. Because I am sure that if God were more present in our daily lives, whether it be the 10, I imagine, commandments, yes, in a classroom, I was turning the page, a Jesus statue on your work desk, a Bible proudly displayed in your cubicle, or a prayer session from time to time at work, there would be less drug use and less insanity overall. That is why this book is being published just after the pagan obsession with cobwebs and skeletons at Halloween. Well, I kind of agree with them. If we just dare to openly be Christian. I can hear people saying, oh, don't make such a big deal about it. Just celebrate Halloween with all the other white suburbanite fools. Voltaire was an observer of Parisian life and became famous for writing about the foibles of Parisian society. I am not that high up on the totem pole. I write primarily about the foibles of white middle-class suburbanites. I'm one. I'm a foibled white middle class suburbanite. Hmm. One of the residents I broadcast from is in a white suburban middle class community. Don't get me wrong, the residents are nice people. They don't want to offend anybody. Their lawns are clean and clipped. Their garbage is put out on the right day. Their cans are picked up on the correct day. There's not a leaf left in the driveway because that would be disgraceful. They're nice enough people. But there's a big but attached to that. I've made a certain observation. The larger the number of Halloween displays on a lawn or a house, the more ghosts, the more eerie things that they put up for their children and the neighborhood children, the more liberal the inhabitants are. It's just an observation. I don't have any ghosts hanging from my house. So if you're trying to find my house, it's the one without ghosts hanging from the trees and eerie spider webs across the hedge. I usually only have pumpkins carved like kittens, or once I made one that looked like a Sasquatch foot. Uh, I try not to attract bad spiritual stuff. And then Jane, my daughter's doll that she got when she was 2 years old, I'll dress her up, like she's been ballerina, and she's been scary sometimes. She's the closest to monster that I've ever put out on Halloween. And last year, I didn't celebrate it at all. I didn't put anything out, and it was okay. Yes, scripture, Isaiah 1, verse 21. How is the faithful city become a harlot? She that was full of justice, righteousness lodged in her, but now murderers. Thy silver is become dross, thy wine mixed with water. Thy princes are rebellious, and companions of thieves. Everyone loveth bribes, and followeth after rewards. They judge not the fatherless, neither doth the cause of the widow come unto them. That was Isaiah 1, 22nd through 23. So we started over here with 21 and we moved right into 22 and 23. Wow. Thy wine is mixed with water, so it's tasteless. Thy princes are rebellious, your children, and companions of thieves, hanging out with the gangs. Everyone loves bribes and follows after rewards, self gratification, immediate gratification. They judge not the fatherless. Well, I don't think the fatherless should be judged, but I do think they should be helped. Neither doth the cause of the widow come unto them. Maybe that's what it means. If they would judge the fatherless, if they would help the fatherless, judge the fatherless as needing help, and the widow might be better. Then we move into Isaiah 32, verse 5 and 6. The vile person shall be no more called liberal, nor the churl said to be noble. I didn't even know the word liberal was in the Bible. For the vile person will speak villainy, evil, and his heart will work iniquity. Not good. To practice ungodliness and to utter wickedness against the Lord, to make empty the soul of the hungry, and to cause the drink of the thirsty to fail. When we were little, Halloween was, we just never made it. No one ever thought of it as being a pagan holiday. Kids got dressed up and asked for candy. That's all it was, like the children's holiday asking for candy. And of course, evil always came out on that day. Back in that day, you heard of people putting pins and razor blades in apples. That's just beyond cruel. So I don't know. I know that, like, it's called All Souls Day, I think it's called All Souls Day, or is that the next day? But I know that the next day after is All Souls Day, I think. And that in our church we honored all the people who had died the year and put my brother's picture up by that. The American people have given up their religion and their civilization and replaced them with a sort of death worship. I know a lot of people would say, come on, it's Halloween. Kids just eat candy corn and have fun. I used to have that attitude and say that, but lately I've been thinking about it. But it's more than that. It's symbolic. This obscure pagan holiday has become bigger than the July 4th celebration of independence from Great Britain. Bigger than almost any other American holiday, bigger than any religious holiday. People who don't go to church, who wouldn't be caught dead in a church, drape fake spider webs on their hedges and celebrating what? The Day of the Dead? These are symptoms of a dying civilization. Now he has Isaiah 32, verse 7 through 8. The instruments also of the churl are evil. He deviseth wicked devices to destroy the poor with lying words, and the needy when he speaketh right. But the liberal deviseth liberal things, and by liberal things shall he stand. I don't know if that's churl or churf, and it's another word I don't know the meaning of. Oh, by the way, yesterday when I didn't know the meaning of those words, I looked them up in other areas, and I did find the definition. And guess what? I'm a goyim. Yeah, I'm a Gentile. Gentiles are goyim. I never knew I was a goyim or goy. I guess they sometimes call us goy. Now we know. Okay. Well, whatever the churl is, it isn't good. The one non-believers, I would say a churl might be a non-believer based on what it says after that. The instruments of the churl are evil. He deviseth wicked devices to destroy the poor with lying words, and the needy when he speaketh right. So the needy person is speaking right, but he destroys him instead of helps him. But the liberal deviseth liberal things, and by liberal things shall he stand. Now they say that the word liberal has been stolen, and its initial meaning has been lost. I'm not sure if I totally understand that one either, but I'm contemplating and pondering it. Okay, story 31. I never went to the Burning Man festival in my life. Not once. I don't even know what the Burning Man festival is. I didn't go to Woodstock. Me either. My idea of fun wasn't lying around in the dirt smoking marijuana or taking LSD or getting naked and having multiple sex with multiple partners, which is what we all heard went on at that concert. But I was a teenager, young teenager, and I did not go there. Thank God. So I didn't go. To me, the Catskill Mountains are about clean water and nice leaves, not that. But every year I have to look at the paper and read about celebrities and tech execs with luxury camps flocking to Burning Man. What the heck is Burning Man? What is the value in going to an event where people walk around stoned out of their minds? Why does anyone go to the desert to an event where everyone gets stoned and drugged with tattoos on their noses, tattoos on their eyeballs? What is this? Is there something wrong with me because I don't go to an event like this or find it revolting? What is Burning Man? Idiots in the desert wearing idiotic costumes while stoned. And what are they doing? Burning an effigy? If this isn't biblical, I don't know what is. This is what the Bible wrote about. Burning Man is exactly what the Bible warned us about, the worship of false gods. It's the epitome of paganism. And why do people go to it? Because they don't believe in religion. They don't believe in God. This has replaced it, and they go to have a good time, you might say. But what is the good time about? I do agree with that. What do people worship? Having a good time, man. That's what they worship. They call it a festival. What is a festival about? This past year, they sold 30,000 tickets in less than 35 minutes, according to the Reno Gazette Journal. And then we read about the celebrities who attend. Katy Perry, Satanist. She is. Sorry, folks. She's Illuminati Satanist. Paris Hilton, probably another one. And others were among them. Paris Hilton is so yesterday. Of course she'd be at Burning Man. She can't get a job anywhere else. Where else would she be? She flew coach into Reno and appeared half naked on a float. And personally, I don't even know who Katy Perry is. I've heard she's a celebrity, and of course, she wouldn't miss Burning Man for the world. I don't know, but lately she's been promoting cannibalism in her rock music videos. Lovely, Katie. Yeah, not. And nowadays, you can find Silicon Valley there in force. Do you know how much tickets to this fiasco cost? It's $425 per person, plus an $80 vehicle pass. OMG. No way. No way. The classic East Coast liberal thinks anyone who believes in God is crazy, a fantasist, a lunatic, out of touch with the reality, etc. Oh, but it's perfectly sane to believe in a Burning Man. Yeah. Only they know reality because they live in Manhattan or Brooklyn. Oh yeah, that's right. But if I said to you that Burning Man is directly related to biblical teachings, you'd have to understand that Exodus 24:4 in the original Jewish Bible says, "Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in heaven in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth." They are making wooden effigies and burning them. That's what the Bible warned against. That these are the end of days. That's what people who are religious believe when you see things like this. So the degenerate cities like San Francisco, where Nancy Pelosi says a leather parade is part of her value system, where men whip each other with whips in public, and she calls it wholesome, are the antithesis of biblical teachings. I'm thinking they might be describing the gay pride parade where men often walk around practically naked. This is why there is a split in America between those of us who see what this is and those of us who don't see what this is. It is between those of us who say, as George Orwell said, the more people chant about their freedom and how free they are, the more loudly I hear their chains rattling. That's what I see in San Francisco. The larger the number of nose rings, the more chains I hear rattling. The more they scream about how free they are, the more I know they're enslaved. Yeah, going along to get along. Joneses. Keep up with the Joneses. And the more I see people flocking to Burning Man, the more I know America is degenerating into the house of bondage, because that is absolutely an example of bondage. Deuteronomy 32, verse 17 says, "They sacrificed unto demons, no gods, gods that they knew not, new gods that came up of late, which your fathers dreaded not." All of you who are going into the desert realize where you are going. You are going into hell itself. Yeah, the desert's not my top of the list place to go for a vacation. Nope. And we are to the last story we're going to read, the new Marrano Jews. I want you to understand how so many Americans were shaped by the entertainment business in the 1950s. I'm a 1950s baby. And then if I cut to what the degenerates are doing to your children's minds today, you will see that the devil the Bible warns us about is very much alive. He's behind every camera in Hollywood, I believe so. I had quit watching TV years ago. I couldn't stand the messages they were giving, and I can't even imagine what is out on there now. They are all used to pervert your child. Pervert, propaganda, to lead your child astray. I'll stand by those words. I agree with him. When did you last see a movie other than one produced by a Christian that told you something other than, excuse me, that one came on. When did you last see a movie other than one produced by a Christian that told you something other than to follow the path of sex, drugs, and rock and roll? Good time. They worship that good time. Always worshiping the good time. All cops are bad. All minorities are good and they're right no matter what happened. Even if they did wrong, they're right. All white men are secretly evil and there are evil women behind them. Corporate executives are crooks. Every corporation is thieving. And who is producing these films? Corporations. It's a very sad time in American history. And he forgot. He forgot. Nowadays, all men are evil. Just because you're a man. Toxic masculinity. Quit bashing our boys. I gave birth to a boy who is a young man, and I am proud of him. Stop it. I really have a axe to grind with that toxic masculinity coming down on guys. Go away, you people. I'm so tired of you. I'm a great lover of blues music, especially the older blues music, because almost all of it derived from gospel music. I did not know that. All the great music by Black people at that time came out of the gospel music tradition. Most of them began in church choirs. Some of the great jazzmen of all times came out of church choirs. You wouldn't know that listening to the media. They don't want you to see the connection between divinity and creativity, but there is a direct connection between divinity and creativity in more artists than you can imagine. However, I would caution you because Beyonce used to sing in a choir, and I think they even said Katy Perry, and they've been led astray. The Illuminati got them, and they, as Keanu says, they sold their souls to the devil. And I pray they recover from that, repent, and seek Jesus. In Hollywood, they have to hide it. There are some great actors around who are true believers, but they'll never show it because they will get blacklisted. They'd never get another job in Hollywood because of the degenerates who run it. If the degenerates floating around on their 400-foot yachts ever knew that some of the greatest actors of our time pray to God or believe in Jesus, those actors would never work in that town again. I believe James Wood is one of those actors, and he does speak out and he does get blacklisted. So they keep it to themselves, like the Marrano Jews in Spain. The Marrano Jews lived during the Inquisition when the Catholics were killing anyone who didn't follow their way. They were very much like the radical Muslims of today. Wrong, wrong, wrong. Yes, there is precedent for what the radical Muslims are doing today. Either you believed in what the Catholics believed in or they killed you. They'd let you convert, but if you didn't, they burned you at the stake or had you drawn and quartered. They're very similar to ISIS. It's a sad history of Christianity, and we just have to accept it, but we don't have to relive it. And we do have to correct it. So the Marranos converted to Christianity outwardly to avoid being killed, but secretly they practiced their Judaism in the basements of their houses. There you have it. False conversion is all you get out of something like that. So what did they accomplish? They accomplished nothing. That is why, to this day, there are many Catholics who look Jewish. You'll find the same thing in Sicily. Why do so many Jews eat Italian food? That's an old joke, but it's because a lot of Italians have Jewish ancestry. It's well known here in San Francisco that different regions of Italy have people with different origins. And there is a region of Italy where the people are very well known for their financial intelligence. Many Genovese Italians descend from Jewish people who converted to Christianity. Wait a second. My brother-in-law, who died sadly of pancreatic cancer in that dreadful year of 2017, Lou De Francesco. I think he's a Genovese Italian. He's gone to Italy. He was a great guy. He was, one of those corporate guys who did good things. Self-made man. He made himself. He was a hard worker. I like Lou a lot. Oh, and he always was doing, you'd never know he was rich. He'd come to a family event and he had to do the cooking. He'd bring the food half the time, and it was always A grade. Oh, Lou, I love you, buddy. Love you. Always will. A while back, I visited a synagogue in St. Thomas in the Virgin Islands. I had heard there was a sand floor, but I didn't know why until I went there. The woman there told me they had sand on the floor to remind them that they couldn't practice their Judaism in Spain, from whence they fled. So they put sand on the floor to absorb the sound of their chanting in Hebrew. When I walked onto that sand floor, I was in communion with people who had been oppressed, tortured, or murdered for their beliefs. It made me feel something I hadn't felt before. Wow. So the devoutly religious actors in Hollywood are like the Marrano Jews. They hide their faith to keep their jobs, to keep from being banished from Hollywood society. They said they believed in God. The degenerates would call them KKK members. Well, now, that would never happen. No KKK, no fascist USA. Seriously, if you are oppressing someone else's free speech, you're the fascist. Nazi deplorables. Oh, I voted for Trump. I'm a deplorable. What can I say? Hillary named me. Oh, and I love to just expound upon that. When they started calling us deplorables, hillbillies from West Virginia who smell like a Walmart. Yeah, I went wakeboarding in blue bib overalls in Arkansas. I posted it on my Facebook and said, transformation is complete now. So after they call them all these wonderful names, they forgot racist. What is it? There's so many, so many names. Homophobic, Islamicist or something. And then they run them out of town. And of course, the good, tolerant liberals would gang up on those Christians. And so here we are. 30, 31, and 32 have been read. We're going to start again tomorrow on 33. Guilt and religion, Hillary's sins washed away. Whoa! Well, that almost makes me anxious. Okay, it's that time where I tell you, God bless you, I love you, and we're going to end the stream. Bye.